Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the TJR Auto channel. My name is Tyler, and in today's video, we are gonna have a little bit of fun with good old Gemma. So for those who don't know, this is Gemma, my 2004 Pontiac GTO. She's a LS1 T56, yellow jacket GTO. So this car is intake, cam, long tubes, tuned. I just put a fresh Magnum F 6-speed in it. So the previous owner had the car dynoed and it made right around 400 wheel horsepower. So she's a fun little ride to drive. Now, clearly she needs a lot of love. She's missing a few things here and there. Well, a lot of things here and there, and paint's not perfect, and it barely has an exhaust, and it has a couple of oil leaks, but hey, it's a fun car. So I'll show you guys what under the hood looks like. I am honestly pretty stoked still with how this car came out after doing the whole restoration series on it. If you guys didn't see it, go check it out. But let's dive a little into it. Now let's go drive this thing. All right, guys, so for anybody who doesn't regularly watch me, then you probably missed the build series on this car. But as I said, she is a LS1 car. So basically just a stock tree fitty in here. And, stock top end, like I said, just an intake, fuel rails, cam, BTR stage 3 cam, and K&N hot air intake. And yeah, really not too much done to it. SLP long tubes. So again, it's a fun little car to drive, but nothing too crazy. Again, for those who don't know, this car basically was smashed in the front end right around here, and me and my buddies cut the front end off the car, put a new front end on it from a donor car. I did all the paint work in here, yada yada yada, and she looks pretty good, but again, she needs a lot of love. So I'm gonna quit yapping and let's start driving. Like I'm one of them slow drivers, as they say, normal traffic. Alright, where's a good window for us? Well, I don't see any smoke, so I suppose it's good, right? No smokes and no puddles behind us that I can see of. So I think we're fine for now. Yeah, for those who don't normally watch the channel, this car was down for about 3 months, I want to say. I blew up the last transmission. Doing a nice little 2 to 3 shift, and she didn't really like it very much. It was a stock T56. So when the trans blew up, I kind of put the car down. I'm like, I don't know what to do. If I buy a new trans, I might as well buy a nice one. So then I dove into it balls deep with my buddies, and we did the whole front end swap. Again, for those who don't know, this car was actually totaled by the previous owner, and luckily I was able to get my hands on a donor front half of a GTO, and did the swap myself. Well, again, with some buddies and some beer. But thankfully, we were able to breathe some life into this old girl again, so that she didn't just waste away in a part out yard, or, you know, get cut up for parts, whatever. So it's for anybody who has a project car or has had one, and, you know, the car is down for months to years or however long it might be, even if it's only a couple weeks, when you get it back on the road, it's like the best thing in the world, you know? And that's how it's felt with this car since I put it back on the road. I've been driving this thing for maybe less than a month, maybe a few weeks now, if anything. 2 weeks, something like that. I don't know. It's been fun. Again, still needs a lot of work, but they all do, right? Another thing too, might as well say it while we're driving. Anybody who noticed the headlights that I have on the car, they're just basically OEM headlights that I took apart, put some LED strips in, and they actually double as the turn signals. So I deleted the turn signals from the normal headlight, and I put the LED switchback strips in. And they look cool, but I am not a fan of how they look, actually. I think I could have executed the idea better. So any of the footage I took from the day that I built them, which was this whole weekend, any of the footage I have from that, basically I scrapped. And I had a whole video's worth, but it wasn't worth me putting out. Personally, I didn't think it was a good result for the headlights. So because of that, at some point soon, hopefully, I will be popping those headlights back out of the car, splitting them back apart, and I do want to make a very in-depth video on how I made them and how I'm going to make them even better, cooler, and like my dream headlights for this car, if you will. So if you're a GTO guy, make sure to stay tuned for that. Or if you're just a DIYer like me, or whatever the case may be. All right, guys. Well, of course, I popped the hood to check underneath it when I got home after our little romperage. And there's some wet stuff. And there's coolant sitting on the frame rail over there. And, you know, everything's really hot after ripping on the car. So got to let it cool down. That's why my broken fan is here. But I think it's this coolant hose. I think this thing's loose, or maybe it's got a nick in it. I don't know. I got to tear into that when it's a little bit cooler so I can actually touch it. But this thing is so fun. Oh, my God. You really don't need a lot of horsepower to have fun. I mean, this thing's making just about 400, which, yes, is more than most people probably have in their little cars. But at the same time, this thing is heavy. And, you know, a Miata with a 200 horsepower is probably just as fun as this thing with 400. So I'll tell you right now, though, 400 horsepower in this chassis is way more fun than 200-something horsepower in the 5-speed Merc. Don't get me wrong, both of these cars are great in their own ways, but still, I don't know. I've missed this thing so much, and I'm so happy with how it came out. I hope you guys also are happy with how it came out. For anybody that doesn't know, we did a full restoration on this car and basically cut the front end off of this car. I got a donor black car, which is still sitting on the side of my house, and we kind of swatched front ends and did a bunch of welding and paint, and yeah, now we're here with a straight GTO. So obviously, as I just said, I got to fix that coolant leak, and there's something shaking to steering related or suspension related in the front end. So I want to get this thing up in the air. I want to fix whatever I got to fix on it. Hopefully I can, because this car needs to do a couple hours worth of driving tonight, so hopefully it makes it. But anyways, this is where I'm going to wrap up today's video. So once again, if you guys are new to the channel and you enjoyed today's video with the GTO, there will be boatloads more of GTO content to come, as well as 5-speed Grand Marquis content to come at some point as well. We have very big plans for that car, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But if you guys are new to the channel and you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe. If you guys just enjoyed the video in general, make sure to drop a like and definitely drop some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the car. What do you guys think about like the little ride along? I definitely want to get a camera and do some sort of like POV driving. I feel like that'd be a pretty cool video to make. Definitely want to get a nicer microphone as well, so I can actually have a nice mic inside of the car catching audio rather than just my phone with, you know, my phone and the windows up with me suffering in the heat, but because we don't have AC. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So yeah, make sure to stick around and find out what the next video is going to be about. Hopefully I don't like blow this thing up and have to redo it all.